My name is Latch of the 22nd Infantry Regiment of Hell Let Loose, an officer of Charlie's Squad. I'd like to thank you in advance for watching this video. The demonstrations you're about to see are the result of 10 sessions and counting. We hold practice once a week for a little more than 2 hours. Our curriculum comes from the 2000 edition of the United States Army Rangers Handbook. We are by no means experts, but Charlie Squad is very proud for how far we've come. Our performance and cohesion on field has improved substantially. We've all become very close in the process, which in the end was the ultimate goal for this program. This is Sergeant Latch with Charlie Squad of the 22nd Infantry Regiment. This is our marching order. We have Dave, this is our assault. We have Pro as our support. We have Flush as our AT. Fulham as our medic. And Prague as our MG. I know, boys.
That was good. That was just disappeared. Look at that arm sticking out his leg.
Each squad member has a designated sector that they are responsible for covering at all times, rather that be in a defensive position on the objective or while traveling in formation. Using a method like this provides added security for the squad and decreases the chance of the enemy catching you off guard from your flanks. Dave, what's your sector?
1 to 3.
Pro?
9 to 11.
Flush?
7 to 9.
Fulham?
3 to 5.
Prague?
5 to 7.
Well done, boys.
Yes!
Whoa! And now...
When you're near an objective or an enemy territory, crossing a linear danger area like a road can be risky. We practice safe road crossing whenever possible. We've altered this a little bit for the ease of Hell Let Loose. Here's an example. Alright, squad approaching on the LDA. Overwatch 1, set up.
I can confirm on that Charlie mark.
Clear.
Clear.
2 cross.
That's fine, just the name.
Clear. Clear.
Fulham with me.
No, Tiger is friendly. Tiger is friendly.
I'm sorry. Then it's a jumbo Sherman.
Check your sectors.
Okay.
What's status?
Clear.
Clear.
Overwatch 1, fall in.
I'm here. For who was that? Friendly artillery? On this mark?
Overwatch 2, fall in.
On that blue mark, was that friendly artillery?
Alright, on me. The designated sectors of fire, as we described earlier, aid the squad when taking defensive positions as well. You will notice in this demonstration that the boys know exactly where to station themselves without me telling them where they need to be. Alright, bunker ahead, hasty defensive positions, MG up front. This is a simple demonstration on how we clear a house. I've yet to study urban warfare from the Rangers manual, so we threw this together in the meantime. Works pretty well. Alright gentlemen, we're gonna break right. Clear this house. Pointman, Dave, Pro, Flush.
Left is clear.
Right, clear.
Rear covered.
Second floor clear.
Moving upstairs. Covering the front.
Hold on,
Good
boys.
set.
When you're on the move, you should always tell yourself that the enemy can see you from every angle, 360 degrees at all times. Concealment is the best way to avoid this. Always find a way to conceal yourself in any position. The more sight lines you cut off with the environment, rather that be a hedge, a ditch, or even shadows, buildings, trees, this will increase your survivability drastically. You might even be able to catch the enemy by surprise. In Charlie Squad, we use concealment to stay hidden from the enemy while moving. Boys, if you want to give a demonstration, proceed. As you can see, Fulham's covered by shadow, and the bush keeps him covered from the other side, while Pro's exposed out in the open and in the light. Makes him vulnerable to enemy shots.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to praise you because that's for
Here you will see how we use different methods of movement depending on a situation. There are 3 to note: traveling, traveling overwatch, and bounding overwatch. We'll only be performing the first 2 here. traveling. This method of movement is used for getting from one location to the other as quickly as possible. Typically, the pose is standing and in full sprint. We like to refer to this method as double time. You might also note that the squad is in a wedge formation, slightly altered for our personal preference. The squad is fluent in most formations, and we use them avidly. Traveling Overwatch. This method of movement is used when the possibility of enemy contact is likely. The pose is crouched, and the movement speed is walking. There are a couple reasons for this. If the squad were to be engaged when they're in a crouched position, they're already a smaller target than they would be in a standing position. The second reason, when in walking speed, the squad members can ready their aim faster than they can while sprinting. This method is designed to be alert and ready for contact. When you approach a large danger area like this field, you're taking a huge risk trying to cross it. Most of the time when it comes to these large danger areas, it's best to contour around them rather than go through them. Contouring or detouring often allows you to stay concealed and covered while you're traveling. And like we talked about earlier, concealment ultimately increases your survivability. Now Charlie Squad is going to demonstrate crossing a danger area as opposed to contouring around the danger area. Go ahead, boys. As you can see, Flush and Fulham are crossing the field out in the open, while Dave and Pro are contouring around the danger area to stay safe. The best way to contour is just to hug the perimeter of the danger area and stay behind cover and concealment as much as possible. This is a simple demonstration on smoke placement. Remember to get the smoke grenade as close to the enemy as you can. The closer the smoke is to the enemy, the wider field of view it will obscure. This is especially effective against enemies that are defending. Defenders won't be moving around as much, meaning that they'll be blinded for a longer period of time. In this case, the boys inside the compound are our defenders. When you're traveling, it's more than likely that you're going to run into enemy contact. A lot of the time, they'll see you before you see them, and they won't hesitate to engage. Here's a demonstration on what to do when that happens. The boys and Charlie are going to demonstrate the 3 things that you should do whenever you're engaged by the enemy. Go ahead, boys.
Contact front.
First thing that you want to do, try to find some concealment. From there, some safe cover, and then suppress the enemy. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. Charlie Squad and I have worked very hard to make it this far, and the video only scratches the surface of what we're capable of. We don't expect anyone in the 22nd to go to the lengths we do, but we hope to have other squads to practice techniques with in the future, to better prepare ourselves for having a unified team of 50. If you have any questions, technical or general, about Charlie, feel free to ask me or anyone in the squad. Good luck out there. Give him hell.